Patanjali Yogasutra. The Yoga Sutra of Patanjali are life's thread, each one rich with knowledge, tools, and techniques. These sutras guide not only the mind but also one's very being to its full potential. Patanjali's Yoga Sutra offer a systematic form of wisdom for attaining self-realization. Patanjali's Yoga Sutra verses in Sanskrit and English with meaning and commentary by Swami Vivekananda. Yoga Sutra 1. At Yoga Anushasanam. Now concentration is explained. Yoga Sutra number 2. Yoga Shritta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga is restraining the mind stuff from taking various form vrittis. Commentary on Sri Patanjali Yoga Sutra by Swami Vivekananda. A good deal of explanation is necessary here. We have to understand what chitta is and what the vrittis are. I have eyes, eyes do not see. Take away the brain center, which is in the head. The eyes will still be there and retina complete as also the pictures of objects on them. And yet the eyes will not see. So the eyes are only a secondary instrument, not the organ of vision. The organ of vision is in a nerve center of the brain. The two eyes will not be sufficient. Sometimes a man is asleep with his eyes open. The light is there and the picture is there, but a third thing is necessary. The mind must be joined to the organ. The eyes is the external instrument. We need also the brain center and the agency of the mind. Carriages roll down a street and you do not hear them. Why? Because your mind has not attached itself to the organ of hearing. First there is the instrument, then there is the organ, and third, the mind attached to these two. The mind takes the impression farther in and presents it to the determinative faculty buddhi, which reacts. Along with this reaction flashes the idea of egoism. Then this mixture of action and reaction is presented to the Purusha, the real soul, who perceives an object in this mixture. The organ Indriyas together with the mind, Manas, the determinative faculty buddhi, and egoism, Ahankara, form the group called the internal instrument. They are but various processes in the mind stuff called chitta. The waves of thought in the chitta are called vrittis, literally whirlpool. What is thought? Thought is a force, as is gravitation or repulsion, from the infinite storehouse of force in nature. The instrument called chitta takes hold of some, absorbs it and sends it out as thought. Force is supplied to us through food, and out of that food the body obtains the power of motion, etc. Others, the finer forces it throws out in what we call thought. So we see that the mind is not intelligent, yet it appears to be intelligent. Why? Because the intelligent soul is behind it. You are the only sentient being. Mind is only the instrument through which you catch the external world. Take this book. As a book, it doesn't exist outside. What exists outside is unknown and unknowable. The unknowable furnishes the suggestions that give a blow to the mind, and the mind gives out the reaction in the form of a book, in the same manner as when a stone is thrown into the water is thrown against it in the forms of waves. The real universe is the occasion of the reaction of mind. A book form or an elephant form or a man form is not outside. All that we know is our mental reaction from the outer suggestions. Matter is the permanent possibility of sensations. It is only the suggestion that is outside. Take an oyster for example. You know how pearls are made? A parasite gets inside the shell and causes irritation, and the oyster throws a sort of enameling round it, and this makes the pearl. The universe of experience is our own animal, so to say, and the real universe is the parasite serving as nucleus. The ordinary man will never understand it, because when he tries to do so, he throws out an animal and sees only his own animal. Now we understand what is meant by these vrittis. The real man is behind the mind is the instrument in his hands. It is his intelligence that is percolating through the mind. It is only when you stand behind the mind that it becomes intelligent. When man gives it up, it falls to pieces and is nothing. Thus you understand what is meant by chitta. It is the mind stuff, and vrittis are the waves and ripples rising in it. When external causes impinge on it, these vrittis are our universe. The bottom of a lake we cannot see because its surface is covered with ripples. It is only possible for us to catch a glimpse of the bottom. When the ripples have subsided and the water is calm, if the water is muddy or is agitated all the time, the bottom will not be seen. If it is clear and there are no waves, we shall see the bottom. The bottom of the lake is our own true self. The lake is the chitta and the waves are vrittis. Again, the mind is in three states, one of which is darkness, called tamas, found in brutes and idiots. It only acts to injure. No other idea comes into the state of mind. Then there is the active state of mind, rajas, whose chief motives are power and enjoyment. I will be powerful and rule others. Then there is the state called sattva, serenity, calmness, in which the wave ceases, and the water of the mind lake becomes clear. It is not inactive, but rather intensely active. It is the greatest manifestation of power to be calm. It is easy to be active. Let the reins go, and the horses will run away with you. Anyone can do that, but he who can stop the plunging horses is the strong man, which requires the greater strength, letting go or restraining. The calm man is not the man who is dull. You must not mistake sattva for dullness or laziness. The calm man is the one who has control over the mind waves. Activity is the manifestation of inferior strength, calmness of the superior. The chitta is always trying to get back to its natural pure state, but the organs draw it out. To restrain it, to check this outwardly tendency, and to start it on the return journey to the essence of intelligence is the first step in yoga, because only this way can the chitta get into its proper course. Although the chitta is in every animal, from the lowest to the highest, it is only in the human form that we find it as the intellect. Until the mind stuff can take the form of intellect, it is not possible for it to return through all these steps and liberate the soul. Immediate salvation is possible for the cow or the dog, although they have mind, because their chitta cannot as yet take that form which we call intellect. The chitta manifests itself in the following forms: scattering, darkening, gathering, one pointed, and concentrated. The scattering form is activity. Its tendency is to manifest in the form of pleasure or of pain. The darkening form is dullness, which tends to injury. The commentator says the third form is natural to the devas, the angels, and the first and second to the demons. The gathering form is when it struggles to center itself. The one pointed form is when it tries to concentrate, and the concentrated form is what brings us to Samadhi.